it was February 2018, and this story broke, which a lot of people will be familiar with now, but it was a story about 5 young interns at Russell McVeigh in the summer of 2015, 2016 that got assaulted. So one of them complained of she was raped, and 4 of them were assaulted. And one of them was one of the perpetrators was a partner there at Russell McVeigh, and another one was a lower level, like, associate, I think. So so anyway, the story broke, and it was actually my reaction to the story at first, which kind of struck me as weird. I was talking to one of my colleagues at Automio, and I said to them, why is this making news? I was like, what? It wasn't weird to me what the story was about. It was like, this isn't newsworthy, isn't it?
This is standard practice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like, it was my reaction to it. And then he was like, yeah, it is kind of a big deal. I can see why it's made the news. And then it was my reaction to it. I'm like, oh, okay. So my whole experience in the law was not normal, or was it? Or is it that nobody's talking about it?
Or was it normal, which I think is where we go to, or was it a normal experience but completely unacceptable? So in other words, it's not abnormal, it's normal. But then the question is, why the fuck is this allowed to be normal?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly right. So, and this was sort of my like aha moment. I'm sort of like, this is really effed up. Really effed up.
Yeah.
Why the hell is this being allowed in a profession which is meant to be upholding the legal system in the whole country? It's just so twisted. So I had some thoughts, and my brain started going, and I had my CEO and my whole team at Automio. They're super supportive. They're just like, just go for it, because we're all about shaking things up and disrupting the legal profession, which needs to happen. So it sort of went quite well together in a strange way. It was kind of what we were trying to do with tech, change things for the better.
Yeah.
I turned into this personal crusade to change things for the better in the legal profession. So I dropped some truth bombs, and things got massive. So I wrote this blog post on LinkedIn, and I just vented. I called it that. We need to talk about law's dirty little secret. And I just let rip, basically.
Totally.
That it's just a load of crock, that this is something unusual and weird, because at the time the whole legal profession was shocked. They were so shocked. I was like, you're not shocked.
You're a part of it.
This is actually happening to everywhere, almost everywhere.
Let me read a bit of this just to give people, when you say you dropped some truth bombs, all right? So so you did it on LinkedIn, and then Stuff obviously asked if they could republish it. Is that what you say when it's in, reprint it, whatever it was?
Yeah.
And so this is what they've said. Here's some of the things from your article. The culture at one organisation was nothing short of disgraceful and debaucherous, like something out of The Wolf of Wall Street. The parties were frequent, alcohol flowed, women were treated like objects and plied with drinks, only to wake up in the morning with a bad headache and serious regrets. Almost every single solicitor was a young, attractive female. The partners were all male. The incidents are too many to list, and I've suppressed so many memories. I have had so many offensive things said to me, done to me, or that I have witnessed, that I could write a novel. The worst incident involved a partner committing an overtly sexual act on a new female solicitor in a public setting in front of other staff who were aware of what was happening. While this behaviour was consensual, it was appalling. The power balance was completely skewed. It horrified the other staff present. And then you go on to talk about your worst experience sitting with a senior management, basically saying things to you. He said some 10 out of 10 fucked up things which would make Christian Grey blush. So, yeah, there's an example from your words of dropping some truth. How long since you've heard that or read that?
Oh, yeah, it's funny, It's still funny reading that. It was just this kind of stream of unconsciousness just I just let it all out.
For
and
sure.
It was quite funny because there was stuff like I'd never even spoken to my husband about my experiences. It's kind of like you just suppress it, turn it in on yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, I mean, that one, like my own worst experience, it actually took me a long time to be able to talk about it without even choking up and feeling this physical sort of, oh, what he, like, I can't even say, like, it's just, but what he said was just beyond the pale, just so extreme, like so extreme. And so anyway, so bringing back to the point is that I saw this consistent theme of wherever I worked, or almost wherever. I've worked in quite a lot of law firms.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this consistent theme of this power imbalance and the power being skewed, and men in law firms taking advantage of it. And it's a very small minority, but they sort of make it miserable for everyone else. So
Sure.
I'd say 90% of guys in law are great guys, and they're actually appalled at what's going on as well. But there's the sort of 10% that abuse the situation. And they're like, we've got money, we've got power, we're just going to use our influence and power to take advantage of a situation that they wouldn't normally otherwise.
I'll tell you something.
So,
I'll tell you something that I learned
yeah.
just while you're talking, not to interrupt you, but well, I guess I did interrupt you.
Yeah,
but just to continue your thought about the 90-10 thing, right? Someone talked to me the other day. I had an academic on talking about institutionalized racism. And the way they explained it to me was they used a dishwasher analogy, and I love it, and I've probably shared it 100 times so far. There's actually a clip on our Facebook page with her talking about this example. And she basically said, if you fill up your dishwasher and a plate comes out broken, and you go, oh, the plate must have been faulty. You know, there was a crack in it before we started. Okay, no problems. So the next day you fill up the dishwasher and a plate comes out broken, and you go, oh, well, I didn't realize we had 2 cracked plates before they went into the dishwasher. Long story short, you go on and on and on and on, and every day you're pulling broken plates out of the dishwasher. At some stage you have to go, there's something wrong with the dishwasher. There's not something wrong with the plates. And when you're telling your story about that 90-10 split, I think about those 90% of the guys filling the dishwasher. It's like once you realize that the dishwasher, the institution is broken, you then actually you must do something about it. Using the analogy, we must call in the dishwasher repairman, or potentially, we're hearing about defund the police, which is a conversation in itself, but or potentially replace the dishwasher. You know, so the way we contribute to it, if we're in that 90%, is if we know the dishwasher's broken, we're actually then need to be a part of the solution, or else we're contributing to more plates coming out broken. And I love that example.
Yeah, I really, really like that analogy. And yeah, so people need to stop ignoring the broken plates.